Hey, what's up, guys? This is Tyson Compton and Christian Morrison with the Insiders of Omaha podcast. It is an absolute treat today to introduce our guest, Will Morales. I have known him for almost 20 years, but largely become close with him in the last few. And just a beautiful soul of a man who is now dedicating his life to helping people achieve their maximum potential here in the Omaha area and across the country. And you're going to hear about some amazing struggle, triumph, and vulnerability from a person who has come from literally nothing to being eternally grateful. And it is I just cannot express enough how much relief, or I'd say even just like light you can feel from this individual. And I hope that shines through in this podcast, whether you're listening to it or watching it, and just can feel the authenticity and kind of, I would just say, honestly, feel the love, man.
Dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. And he's been through so much. Beat cancer, be ejected from a car. I mean, there's so much. One other quick plug, guys. This whole podcast, everything we do, we bring it to everybody for free. We don't have any sponsors on purpose. This is fully sponsored by our personal real estate business. So if you guys are looking at buying or selling in the area, looking for some amazing real estate agents,
yes,
hit the link below, schedule a call with us. We're happy to help in any way we can. We would appreciate it as a token for watching and bringing this to you on our own time. So thanks so much, guys. And let's get into the podcast with Will.
Fill the soul.
Let's get it. I got the office where I was like, sure. And then through that conversation, we just decided one or two conversations later to partner up.
Yeah, we were like, and I was really, neither of us were even thinking about that.
No, not at all.
And then it was one of those things like, just came across, should we work together?
Yeah.
I think we should probably work together.
Like, why not? Like, why wouldn't
we? Way
we?
more sense.
Yeah. We're both been like solopreneurs.
Yeah.
And we have
power of a team,
Yeah.
That's where it's hard.
Two minds together.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for that.
Well,
trusting aspect and
totally
seeing if like somebody's going to be as hardworking as you.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And like what's their moral compass?
Yep.
And, all of that kind of stuff too is tough.
That's a lot of feeling out too. That's a lot of time together and a lot of questions. That's where I like the grind. If I can
grind together.
Yeah. Just. Whether it's a 100-mile bike ride, you see the true nature
Small
of a
flex.
human.
I like that. It's just a little 100-mile bike ride, or
when are you gonna do a try? I feel like that's right.
I'm doing a
Olympic or a
sprint.
Just a sprint.
I
I want to do a
two.
sprint.
You should do
what
it.
is that?
Yeah,
a what?
Sprint triathlon.
Yeah.
Oh, a triathlon. What is
Like
that? What is a
everybody-
sprint triathlon?
It's just shorter. It's like a 250 or 500 meter swim.
Yep.
Okay.
So I think it was 750.
Okay.
And then you do like a 5K and then a 20K.
Bike ride.
ride,
Oh, that's not that bad.
I mean, you're done in 3 hours.
Yeah. And if you really bust it, it's like an hour and 30, 40 minutes.
The big thing, like for
That
me, is
sounds
like everybody's scared of swimming. That doesn't bother me at all.
What do you swim across? Like a pond or a lake?
You do like a lake.
Okay.
And then a
That'd
lot
be
of times sprints will be indoors,
Mm.
and then you'll run out of that in the lap pool,
Yeah.
and then you'll run out and get your bike, and then you'll finish with a run.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have to
I know. Were you a
build up
lifeguard?
prep.
Huh?
Were you a lifeguard?
No.
I was.
Oh yeah, dude, what a fun job.
Small flex. Yeah.
Small flex.
It was.
I bet it was. Seriously.
It was. Yeah. That's what I thought I was going to do.
That should be a
All the
lifeguard
years.
forever?
Yeah. I was like, man, this is the best job.
Back in Imperial, was it busy during the day?
Dude, that's all we had.
That's all we had,
That's
right?
all we had.
We were at the pool every freaking day. Every day.
Yeah. And
So how far back do you guys go?
just high school,
Yeah,
really?
we knew each other in
So like almost 40 years. I'm just kidding.
No,
Right?
Yeah, 20. for
20.
sure.
20-year reunion's coming up. Actually,
That's
my
crazy.
coach just retired,
Oh wow.
and we're doing a little dinner for him. So
Yeah,
the players
cool.
come back.
20 years after you left, you retired.
You graduated in
That's
04 or 03?
04.
Yes, we're the same age. Yeah.
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 And
We,
Tyson
we
was-
played each other in the state tournament our senior year in basketball.
So
And then-
different schools?
Yeah.
Across the state.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we played each other that season in football in the quarterfinals, I think, or something like that
Who
too.
won?
We got smoked.
But they
I
beat
threw like
us in
three.
They
Did
beat
they
us
beat
in
you in basketball?
basketball, and
Smoked
just
them.
they won the title. Like these guys were just like the grittiest of gritty. They were small.
Yeah, we were.
like
Scrappy.
And really, that's
Real
kind of what our MO was.
Yeah.
And these guys just beat us to our own game. And then they
That
took
is
out.
annoying, yeah.
They took out
Oh,
a team.
Oh my gosh.
That had like monsters. It was like the Monstars, and these guys
it
were
was.
two
Hey,
squad.
this in football or basketball?
This was basketball.
Okay. Yeah, so the short guys won, because for basketball, we're short.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
And was it that way in high school too?
Yeah, I mean, each team in our level had like a guy who's probably like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and then
That's all.
a lot of six. I'm 6'4", 6'1".
Okay.
But our whole team was like 6 foot.
Yeah. So, and we were big. Like we had,
You-
6'4", 6'4",
Yeah.
6'5". Yeah.
But
So-
it was we were just very, very, very sound. We were very smart
As a team.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were very capable. Everybody could handle the ball. Everybody could shoot. I mean, it was
And just defensively. That's
defensively
what you guys did.
smoked.
We had
Yeah.
like the fastest point guard.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
These guys just made him look slow because nobody really did
Yeah.
that. And I just remember that.
And then you
That was
guys,
fun.
and you could turn the tables in football.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
we smoked.
But that's where we were good at. We just we're like that too stupid to quit type mentality. Like
yeah.
that's all we had. But yeah.
And then we ran across each other a couple years down the road through college and just some random encounters, and then reconnected like way down the road.
I don't know why. I think you just have that. You run into somebody and you have that feeling like
Totally.
I know you, and then you're just like
I kind of know where you came from.
Yeah.
I've known about you from a distance, had some mutual friends, and then I moved back here to Omaha after the Marine Corps, and we connected, and then we just have always kind of been kindred spirits since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of the nature of a conversation, and then you lead into wow, this guy is similar to me. I like your story of I'm working in a cubicle and I'm trying to go bust out some push-ups.
Yeah.
And once he said that, I'm like, dude, check out these videos, because I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I was literally
annoying
my friends because I'm doing like 50 push-ups and I'm just sending them.
Yep.
Because I'm so bored at my
So
job.
bored.
I'm so bored.
What'd you do?
I was a physical therapist assistant
Okay.
in skilled nursing. So I thought I was going to be like working with athletes because I tore my ACL and I loved the comeback of the rehab process.
Yeah.
Because from there I learned that if I do something long enough, maybe I'll get a vein in my bicep or something, because I started getting muscle.
Yeah.
3 months of doing anything will help you. And I was going 3 times a week, which my college paid for. Otherwise, I don't think that would have been possible. But I didn't know what PT was until that point. And that's what led me to that.
Through your experience, you're like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't what you thought.
No, I was playing sports already.
Yeah.
So it was in the back of my mind. I thought, like, if I just do this, maybe that's what I can do after school. Because I think that's what I did. I just played sports for school, because that's
what we did.
That was my projection. I was, Will, you're good at sports. I'm probably not the smartest person in the world, but I believed that then, so then I didn't try that hard in school.
Right.
But I
was really good at sports.
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, we both grew up in small towns too. Yep. So like you can, I wouldn't say just get by, but like you get clout being an athlete. You just, people enjoy being around you.
Totally.
You have gravitas. But the one thing I've always appreciated about Will, and I would consider you a local Omaha body hack guy. You're a mental.
What did you say? Body what?
Body hack.
Body hack.
You are like a. You are really in
tune
with trying to get the most out of your body from everything that's been through. You should probably talk about your accident a little bit and the journey that started that.
Yep. Yeah. And I keep thinking we're not even starting yet. So
we are.
We started 7 minutes ago.
I like it. See, this flows nice. I like the cadence. So really, I got the opportunity to get my ACL done. And from there, I learned about the rehab process. And fast forward a few years, and then I go to school, learn more about the body and its resilience, because I realized, if I do tear this, it's not the end of the world. It's not like what people will tell you, blew up my knee, and then you go back home and you're at the bar every Friday.
What a mental revelation in itself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So fast forward to when I'm 23, I get into a car accident where I'm ejected, and
Holy crap.
break my T2 vertebrae through my L5 vertebrae in various spots, because I'm essentially just thrown in the dirt and I'm flailing all over. I have no recollection of this. All I know is that I come to in North Platte, Nebraska, and
in the hospital.
I'm in ICU for 5 days, and I'm also finishing up school at the same time. So I'm studying for boards. I'm back in Imperial. So thankfully, I kind of know that what's about to happen to me. I'm going to have to dedicate months and months of my life to
Healing.
get myself back. And I wake up from this, I have all of this gone. So the doctors are telling me, like, you're not going to grow any of your hair, your skin back on this part.
Jesus.
And all I'm kind of known for is playing some basketball and not looking that bad,
Right.
you know?
No, I get it.
So
Good
thank
looking
you.
man.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Thank you. I learned about just the value of the resilience of your body. And from that experience, I go home and basically I'm laying on my parents' couch. It's pain pill, fall asleep, wake up, pain pill. And in between, I'm getting my wounds dressed. So like, you don't want to see this, but like I still have like a lot of road rash on my back. And
Did you go out the front windshield?
no, so what I can show you pictures, but like the bed of the pickup smashed down so much that if I would have been in, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, but if I would have, it would have just decapitated me. Yeah. Wow. So thankfully I was just ejected from the side of the car or the door. And right. Just it's a miracle.
Well, you don't even think about in a car accident, you've experienced it firsthand. You only think about, the biggest window I could really go out is the front or the back. But no, you went out the side window.
And you weren't wearing your seatbelt.
No.
And the whole thing is seatbelt save your life. My grandpa had this, not the same exact thing happen to him, but he got ejected from the side window, rolling down a hill. If he would have, and he didn't have a seatbelt on, he got ejected. If he would have stayed in, he would have died. So 2 stories I know of now of people not wearing the seatbelts and surviving. Is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think like, why me? You know, it's not a survivor's guilt, but you're like, how did I get so lucky? Like what more can I do to maybe show others, help others?
Yeah.
You know, and you don't think that way in the time, but as you reflect,
you're mad it happened to you at the time,
right? Yeah. You're victimizing yourself. And I kind of go through 10 years of my life of kind of being in shame of it, you know, because I'm drinking, you know, I kind of feel like a failure, really, because it's like, it's kind of like the people projecting like you're an athlete. Maybe they don't think that you're going to do much with your life. So you're like, dang, they were right. But then I keep thinking to myself, like, all I know is a little bit of work. That's all that's going to get me out of this. And my brother comes home and he's playing football at Kearney and he's going to go work out. We used to take No Explode. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, No Explode, baby. Oh man, this is before your age. No Explode is this intense pre-workout.
What's it called? No Explode?
NO Explode.
Nitric oxide explode.
Yes.
Okay.
Super intense flavors, like these neon colors.
It's like a ton of caffeine in this thing.
Just junk.
Yeah.
Right.
Junk.
Tell us. I mean,
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I used to get up playing football in college, and at halftime, our running backs would take it. Again, they take it before the game and then in the middle of the game, and they just get. I mean, your skin's on fire. It feels like on pins and needles. The niacin is just on fire. You just get your pumps.
So you're crushing this workout.
I'm ready to do some push-ups right now.
That's
what you think about.
Your heart's just boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If you don't work out, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you got to do something with energy.
It's like anxiety. But I remember
it's basically Adderall crushed up in powder form, and you drank it.
What's the flavor in there?
It's before like FDA had any regulations.
Yeah,
it was just like, let's put as much caffeine in.
That's so funny.
But yeah, back to it. He was taking that. I remember vividly. I didn't take it. I don't know why, but I was like, I'm going to the gym with you. And this was like a month and a half after the accident.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So were you moving well yet? Like, are you still kind of like,
no, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Dang.
And to preface that, I had just gotten back. So I had gotten back from North Platte, hearing from a doctor that you basically like need to figure out a plan because, you know, your body's not stable. You're not going to be able to play basketball, which I was still continuing to do. I was traveling with dudes from around the area. And I just thought to myself, like, then what is life? You know, like, what am I going to do, man?
Yeah.
So I go with my brother and I see a pull-up bar, and first thing I do is like, I could do pull-ups before. I go over and try to pull myself up. But you got to think that I haven't been into any extension whatsoever. I'm kind of stuck here because it's the path of least resistance. Like my body just wants to be sitting here because it's healing. So then my body heals that way. I go up an extension and try to pull, and I just remember like pain like I've never felt. And then it's just again. So I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do? And I remember that's where I learned progressive overload. If I start with 2.5s, then I can go to 5 pounds. If I go to 5 pounds, I can go to 10 pounds. And this is already me putting a plug in for kettlebells. So then I find these kettlebells later on down in my life, and it has that same concept of, you know, yellow, purple, green. So it's always that. Kettlebells, it's always a progressive thing. So what I learned from that car wreck was I just have to start small and really climb fast. And that's what I did. And I just started to fall in love with every single day of working out. You know, I took a little bit of breaks when I started to make some money. Because then I got lazy. Because that's what it does to you.
Yeah, totally. I get it. Yeah.
So I was going to happy hours. I'm like, I made it. I was going to bars. Probably I saw Tyson. I was probably trying to buy him a drink because that's how I felt like, you know, I made it because I was able to buy some people drinks. But yeah, so that was my car accident. That was there's too many lessons.
You had so when you, after the car accident to your health journey, how much time passed? Because you kind of said you got out of shape. You made it, got complacent.
Yes.
How much time
in that time?
Because you're not married yet. You were still in college.
So
well, how old were you in the car accident?
23.
Okay.
So 23 to 26, I just, you know,
existed.
Was probably drinking again. So
average.
I thought I was going to be
normal.
Yeah. No. I thought I was going to be just 9 to 5er and that was it. Cause again, I didn't really partake into basketball as much as I was doing prior. So I didn't have that like passion driven mind. So put on a few pounds, but
a few, how much weight did you gain?
That wasn't even that bad. So maybe I'm like 240 by this time. But then I meet my soon to be wife at 26, we'll say 26 and a half. And you know, I start again with my consistency. She's training for a show. She's incredible. Like she's disciplined to the nines and
for so like a workout or like a bodybuilding show?
Like a physique show. And she shows me, hey, tracking your food. She's doing these things, losing that weight. And I follow suit. I'm just basically kind of eating the same things she's doing. Then we take a break. She gets into grad school. So we break up for a few months, 6 months. And then I take the process of, if I just eat consistently all the time, then I start losing a little bit more weight. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But I'm drinking. And I'm drinking again because I'm in a heartache. So we connect again. We start traveling. And that's when we start to both put on weight because we're away. So she's in grad school. But we still continue on the consistent eating pattern. So though we might go, we're in, you know, New Orleans, we're eating gumbo, beignets, you know, shrimp etouffee. That's all heavy. We come back. I propose to her while I'm doing some travel assignments. I proposed to her. We come back to Omaha, and then that's where she's working at Huddle, stressed out. I'm at this job where I get to travel a lot and not necessarily have to do a lot of work. So it's a win-win. I can go golfing with buddies, and then I can meet my wife who's stressed, and we can go to Old Chicago. So I balloon up to 280 pounds by this point.
That's crazy, dude.
Right.
How tall are you?
6'3", 6'4", right?
I used to be 6'4", but after that 280, I'm like 6'3" now.
Just weighted down.
But yeah, so I get to this point, and this is after we're married. So we're trying again because we both don't feel good. She gets into a new job that she enjoys. We start working out again. I feel like I'm blaming it on my wife, but naturally it's me. It was me just
No, but you're paralleling lives is what you're talking about. You're not blaming anything. Yeah.
So it is, and this is one thing that I tell people is like, if you get your partner on board, you got to lead by example first and foremost.
Yeah, if you're married and one of you is going hard down that path, the other one's gonna follow suit.
Or what? Or there's resent.
Yeah.
Or there's
why are you working out?
Frustration,
maybe
judgment. I mean, that's that crab mentality. Have you ever heard of that? Like the one crab's trying to get out of the bucket of the other crabs, and all they want to do is pull the other crab back out, back down.
Yeah. Well, I should say, if you're in a healthy relationship,
if
you're in a healthy relationship, there's probably
And I don't think it ever starts as like we're just both on the same path. I think one has to just take the lead and
agree.
Hey, beautiful, like positive affirmations. Keep thinking like, how can I mesh this into our relationship?
Make this a lifestyle.
So then we start building again. That's it. That's kind of what it was. It was like we'd have these crabs, and maybe the crabs were each other, just like it's okay, comfortable. It's
I love you no matter what. You can be
right, and that's the truth. Yeah, she loved me when I was fat, so now like I really love her because I was like, I know you love me when I'm down.
That's true, dude. That's true.
What during that time? What do you feel like was the catalyst, the change in that mindset shift? Because obviously you knew from athletics that there are some possibilities through exercise. You knew that, but then you got complacent, and people do this across. I mean, I've been there as well. Like, what do you think that mind shift change? Where did that happen? When did that gear get turned?
Truthfully, like I had my wife surprise me and say, "Hey, you're going to be a dad."
Oh, wow.
So truthfully, that was the moment.
It's like
it blew me away. Yeah, it just showed me, and I had dabbled into it.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to lose weight. I'm starting to
feel good.
But then my wife takes a picture of me on my birthday, and the night before I'm drinking wine. I'm doing the same little patterns that I was doing prior.
Great point.
But then I look at this picture and I'm like, dude, that's it. Like,
I'm not gonna be that dad.
That's it. Yeah. So that moment right there was the moment, and then from there, it's like the fire
that stoked it enough.
God, yeah. And I remember getting these little black containers, and I fill them daily.
For your daily foods?
Yeah, the same thing. I'm basically, maybe I'm eating some just beef and mixed vegetables. Yeah. I just do this for months. And then
you always make the ground beef and suck like a vegetable medley, frozen vegetable medley, right? That's what you do. Like,
it's very simple. That's the base. Like, and I try to make it look like it's Emeril Lagasse just made it.
He does the red sauce and then the little bit of
sriracha.
Sriracha.
I do it all. Like I just make it unique each time.
Yeah. So you don't get bored with it.
Yeah. So I do this, and then I get to a point where I plateau. I'm down to like 240 pounds, and I hire a coach.
So you did plateau. You're like, I don't know where else to go from here.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
And
who was the coach?
His name is Scott Stevenson. I think I referred you to him. Just an absolute incredible motivator. I would say accountability. Like he just showed me like, Will, it's going to take a lot longer than you think.
Yeah.
And he's like, Will, you want to mess up and you want to make excuses and say you're just going to go to burgers and beers once a week and that's going to be your cheat meal. Well, just know that there's 2 weeks that we're going to have to regain. And I'm also, the reason why I hired him was because I was going to train for a kettlebell competition as well as a physique show. The physique show was actually after I realized like losing weight was possible.
Yeah.
And this is where we can go into like the ectomorph, mesomorph.
Yeah.
I thought I'm just a beefy. Is it mesomorph that is the big one?
I don't know. I think meso or ecto.
I don't remember whatever that big one. I was that one, and I'm like, well, that's never gonna change. But then I start losing these weight, and then I start seeing abs. And I'm like, whoa, this is all I wanted ever since I was a kid. So it just started growing, and I started a job where, again, I'm kind of more not sedentary, but I'm in one place and I'm not traveling anymore. So I have to get up at 4:30 every day to do kettlebells or ride my bike, my Peloton, just to be sane at work. So I'm not like Tyson and I back in the day doing push-ups.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing push-ups at work, I guess. So like that was the only way that I'd make it through my day without feeling like just trapped inside my skin.
Totally. Yeah, that makes sense.
But then I get down. I do this kettlebell competition. These keep coming back. I do 10 months of training for these things. And during that time, I'm doing my NASM personal training degree because in my mind, it was telling me that. We know, sometimes like you hear your voice. It was like it was vividly telling me to do these things because something was going to happen. And lo and behold, I get laid off. But I also get this opportunity to design a gym and to basically through the training that I got from that personal training degree, I was training who happened to be my father-in-law at the time, or that is my father-in-law at this time.
There's no other father-in-laws. It's one father.
God, so thankful for him.
Yeah.
So thankful for him.
Yeah.
He saw a lot of opportunity.
Saw
and
a talented kid.
Saw a lot of
passion.
That's kind of it. Yeah. One person just needs to see something in you. And he saw it and he kept feeding me like goddamn Customato or something like that. Like psychologically, he was just like, dude, amazing. Like I've never really heard those things. And so I do these, I'm helping him shed some weight as well. And it's just like a beautiful combination, but he gives me this opportunity that, again, I'd love to have you into the Carson headquarters, but like I get a little piece of my brain that I got to create this thing. And that was the blessing that came from listening to my internal thinking or my sometimes it's inner critic, but this thing was telling me what to do. And
do you feel like that was like one of the first times you actually heard the correct voice? Or maybe you were listening to the right things, or was that always there, or you actually finally discovered that, or what?
That's true. I think I had such negative self-talk prior to that I don't know if it was that self-talk that was like, just do it because maybe you're going to get fired. Like, I don't know, like, was it a scarcity mindset that I was in? But maybe I took it as okay, this is telling me finally, maybe I'll listen to it because at that moment I was doing the eating. So was it because I was fueling? This is where my mind goes. We have this brain and we also have this brain. Logically, if you think, what you consume feeds that first brain. So I think of my gut kind of being at the catalyst behind my decision making. So if I'm feeding it beautiful foods, call it mixed vegetables, call it ground beef. If I do that consistently enough and not screw it up with anything processed, with any beers, I'm not drinking any beers. Like if I'm not eating out all the time, then maybe that was the positioning I needed to put my body into, start giving me that positive thinking, that, growth mindset. So that for
never
me,
thought of it that way before.
I've never said that. But now it's all.
You never said that till now?
I've never said that.
Interesting. Yeah, I really like that though. That's
but
like
now
a great way
it
of looking
makes
at it.
sense.
Yeah.
And now that as I continue to do that, I continue to see my potential.
Yeah.
And through my latest little journey, so I'm 4 months out of prostate cancer surgery.
Damn.
So I had a prostatectomy November 30th of this past year.
Dang.
It's a beautiful thing though, because again, it's just further showing me like what is possible, like
What do you mean?
What else can I do?
How did that show you what's possible?
Because I feel like I thought life had given me a great obstacle with my car accident, thinking like, damn, I think I figured it out. I figured it out. So, I coast for about 10 years before I really like start telling people like, oh, this is what I went through.
Yeah.
And as I start going through it, like there's people kudos like, oh, how's he doing that? Like, that's inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm like,
for sure.
Yeah, cool. Like it's not really like that inspiring after you do it for so long. But then, this past year I tore my pec and I had this surgery. So I'm like, this last year really was a true triumph and just like a learning lesson. So I'm like, okay, so if I can get through all of that so far, I'm 37, like what's anything else? Like what else can I jump at? Like, and all I have to do is just stay ready, be consistent, do the things that I'm doing now. So though I haven't hit my prime purpose yet, I know that whenever that thing comes and that beautiful idea comes, like I'm ready. And then I get to meet cool people along the way, because I think if I truly speak authentically, which that is what I've been working on the past few years, self-development helps you discover who you truly are.
Yep.
Not the projections that people are throwing on you. Then I think the opportunities will just continue to come. And as I stay ready, what else? Like, I think I'm just like, I'm ready. I just haven't hit that.
Could almost be a purpose to stay ready.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
That was my little revelation. So I started going to therapy when I got the news that, Will, you might be pissing your pants for the rest of your life. You might not get a boner the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So your mind is a crazy thing, and it will take you like to the worst extremes. You hear something like, 9 out of 10 men will, get their growth stunted if they drink coffee. You hear that and you're going to stop. You're going to be 5 foot tall. Like it's the way we think. So I hear these different things. Yeah.
What question for you? So
really interesting, actually.
I've always portrayed you from a distance since we know each other when we were younger kids. Very confident, young man. Very confident, good athlete. Got girls, all that good stuff. But I think a lot of that ebbs and flows. It might be false sense of confidence because you just don't really know yourself personally. This is me talking about myself.
Yeah.
You don't quite know yourself yet. When or how did you become? Would you consider yourself confident when you were young? You kind of ebb and flow to that as an adult. How does one gain confidence? How does that happen for you?
I think confidence is repetition.
Okay.
I was not confident whatsoever growing up.
Oh, interesting.
At all.
Like almost facade.
Oh my God.
Really? Okay, cool.
So humble beginnings.
Right.
People say that. That just means I was poor. I was very poor.
Yeah.
Even like, I'm Hispanic and I come from a town of 2,000 people. So naturally you're going to be a little bit different, because it's mostly Caucasian people there. So I had another buddy who
did you mean
was
white?
Hispanic.
Just white people,
right?
It's not like you know white.
I mean,
Right.
you can call me white.
No, I'm just. I say that. So like you're getting made fun, like just we make fun, like that's
sense.
what. Yeah.
People are picking on you, whatever.
Yeah. So with that, like I think there was always a chip on my shoulder, and thank the God that I was really tall and bigger, and like I just was coordinated, and I had a grandpa who helped me a lot by throwing balls to me, never letting me stop. So it was all a facade, and it continues to be a facade. You know what I mean? Like you don't outgrow that.
There's still that little piece in there. Yeah.
You think of your consciousness, like you're still Tyson, who's
14,
an
15 years old.
incredible quarterback. You still have that same thought process, but you just have a little more experience. You haven't kicked that, like, dude, that girl in 8th grade said, I'm ugly, like,
isn't that funny? Like those things that they might get smaller, and now you're trying to create experience that can grow bigger than those that can now put those aside. But there's still voices from 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago.
And
there's certain things I still remember. I'm like, dude, that's still like, how does that have a hook in your brain? It's crazy.
Why is it a core memory?
I don't think I have any of that.
It's good. Well, you were
weird as
homeschooled
that
too.
Yeah, that might be part of it.
You were
But,
homeschooled?
Yeah, I was homeschooled. Yeah.
So just a different.
But, we played sports at schools.
Yeah.
Went to the school. I think you were saying earlier that, like, whenever you're younger, you had like what'd you say? You said like you were trying to figure out who you were.
Yeah.
You were like maybe insecure in that and like kind of putting on a facade. I feel like for me, it was always like, I know what I could be. And I was like irritated I wasn't doing all the things.
Interesting. That's a good perspective too.
I'm like, I know I could be doing more than this. I know I could be doing more than this. That's been like a constant theme in my life, has been like, dude, I just feel like I'm way more capable than the stuff I'm currently doing.
I think all of us are like that. I had this conversation yesterday.
Why is there so much? Do you feel? I shouldn't make the assumption, but do you feel like there's a lot of fear on the other side of that? Like
what fear?
Because you just said, I feel like I should be doing so much more.
Could
but
be, yeah.
What is holding one back from doing that or going that route?
Is it fear of failure? Is it fear?
I don't think it's fear of failure at all for me.
For you,
no,
right?
I don't think so. I think there's a fear of like not doing enough. I heard this quote recently that said, "Lazy people do a little bit of work and feel like they work their ass off."
Yes, it's a great quote.
And hardworking people will work 14 hours a day and feel like they were lazy all day.
Or feel like that's still not enough.
And that's kind of how I'm definitely in that camp of like never feeling like I'm doing enough.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's like a lot of us.
You know what I mean?
What if I'm both?
What if you're just lazy?
I'm just lazy.
You're just lazy.
I'm lazy. I do a little bit of work. Crap, I know I should have done
But
better.
when you do the work you know you were supposed to do and you get everything done you know you're supposed to do today, it is one of the best feelings. You're like, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's another thing, Dana, too, that I think a lot of people would probably resonate with that mentality, or just that kind of just that inner feeling of just like, I'm just might be a little lazy. Like that in itself is a message. Those are words.
I kind of wish I was. I'm going to be honest.
However, a cadence in your own life is built through habit. And any habit can be broken if the pain is great enough and the current pain is greater than the fear on the other side. So let's say you're like, hey, I want to change. Well, you're only going to change unless when you actually realize the pain in your current state is greater than the fear in the future state. So unless there is something that's going to move you, you'll continue status quo. And that might be fine. Like no one's going to judge you for that or even say much, but it's only internally until you realize, hey, I have a capacity to do a lot more and be something more than I am today, tomorrow. But the phrase that can never come up in your mouth, in your brain is, well, I'll just start tomorrow. If you continue to say, I'll start tomorrow, it'll never start.
It never happens.
It's little wins, man. Little wins. Stack the little wins. Hey, you know what? I got up today at 6. I usually get up at 9. Or, you know what? I made my bed today. Well, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Whatever's setting you up to feel that you can do one more thing, that's what you need to worry about. It's people that take this idea that I'm going to eat the elephant in one day. Unfortunately, that's impossible.
That's a fail, and I've realized that that's a fail when I do that. I've been trying this thing where I just call it 2 power hour, and it's just 2 hours. I've had tax issues that I got to get caught up on, and I'm just like, this thing's giant, right? And that's my usually mode of work is like, just burn through this, man. Get through all of it. And what it does is create a failure because I can't get through it. But if I just do 2 hours and go from 11:30 to 1:30, nothing else. And then I do like just solid 2 hours. And like when I got done, and it's funny because I failed even at it because I did good for 2 days, right? I'm like, man, I got a lot done in these 4 hours in the last 2 days. Well, the third day I did like an 8-hour day and then burnt out and quit for a while. Because I was like I was so kind of motivated that I didn't like that 8-hour day now burned out and then I stopped after that.
Killed all your progress.
It kind of did. If I would have just kept doing that
little increments
more that slower or those 2 hours, I might have kept going longer. Does that make sense?
So one thing that I would preach to people is you had a slight setback and burnout, but let's say the day did not equate for another 2 hours of work and you're like, I just don't have it in me, right? Which that can be the demise of future progress. I would challenge anybody, say, okay, hey, you know what? Maybe you don't have 2 hours a day. Do 10 minutes. You still have to touch, taste, and feel the progress, even if it's a drip. If you stop the touch, taste, and feel of that next step, that's where it starts to go dark again.
Jocko Willink, you guys all know who he is? Jocko says,
discipline is freedom.
Yeah, but he says if you feel like quitting, procrastinate it. He said that's the one thing I allow people to procrastinate. Procrastinate quitting till tomorrow. He's like, if you feel like horrible, you're like, I need to skip today on this. He goes, just do it today. And then if you feel the same tomorrow, then skip.
Yeah.
He's like, but do it today.
Yeah.
And that's
I like
the whole
that.
thing
Yeah.
of just, if it's one sip, it's just one page. You just have to do it. Just touch here,
Yeah.
feel like it will lead into more.
Right. And like, for example,
Sure.
75 hard. Sometimes the hardest thing for people to do is to get in their 10 pages that day or 10 minutes of reading or whatever
Yeah.
it is. You know what? Some days it might be hard, but I would challenge you, just read one page if it's that hard that day and see what happens. Because I guarantee is
keep
most
going.
time,
Yeah, you'll keep
if you
going.
read that one page, you're probably going to read at least 2 or all the 10.
Yeah.
You just got to start and let your body's natural energy take over.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, and that's why I feel like you just remove the question about it and just say, it's just going to happen. Like, it's just going to do it. I think parenting can be like that sometimes too. When you're like, we all have kids now. We all have similar age kids. And you're just like, damn, I do not want to be a dad today.
Yeah.
As in, I don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
But what I've had to do at times, you're just like, F it. You just got to go. You just got to go through the fatal funnel of the door. And
Or sometimes you're just like, I just want to throw on a movie so they so I can do
yeah.
this thing. But you're like,
just
okay, we're not
can't.
doing that.
We're not doing
Yeah.
that. It's just
You
not
want to play with them. And,
you know?
Yeah. And
Or-
that's,
yeah.
no, keep going. That was my driving force, Tyson, to go back to it. Like, knowing that I didn't really have like that positive role model in the sense of like somebody who was always there kind of teaching me. I had my grandpa, my dad, he was working a lot. So that's hard. So for me, I wanted to be the guy that was able to do all these things. I've always been an athlete. So like, I want to be able to be a coach, I want to be able to have my son, when I enter the room, he's like, dude, that's my dad.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
This guy's
same. Yep.
amazing. And I want his friends to be like, dude, like, what's in that guy's arms? Like,
Yeah.
why are there so many veins? Like, why is he coming and picking his kid up in his gi? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I do that purposely,
Yeah.
maybe to make him feel a little like embarrassed, but also like, dude, your dad's out here working.
Yeah.
So then I can play with my kids. And then when I get those times of like, gosh, I don't want to do this, like, at least I have the energy to do it.
Very true.
And yeah.
Well, then
Very true.
keeping that picture of why. So your son's name is what?
Carson.
So like keeping the picture of Carson's face or him in your brain to be like, there's just not an option. Like if my son Carson was watching me right now, how would I want him to see me?
Yeah.
Right. And, or
I like
I always talk about like, I mentioned to somebody's like, gosh, my daughter really battles or my son really battles this. I go, oh, okay. And what advice do you give him? Okay, you give him that advice. And then you'll hear back like, God, I really struggle with this. I go, well, how would you advise your kid? And they're like, it's kind of an eye opener. It's this idea of like, well, if you're telling your kid that anything's possible and to try their best, are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Are you still believing anything's possible? Are you trying your best? Because there's no other damn way they're going to realize it until they see it from the two people that are the most influential in their lives, and that's their mom and dad.
Dude, you got to check this book out. You hit every nail on the head. So there's this guy, Charlie Engle, who ran the Sahara Desert. 111 days it took him running like 40 miles a day, 4,300 miles, 45 in the sand, hot. Two other buddies, I think.
Just buddies.
There's a documentary.
Those are brothers.
That's very true.
Yeah.
There's a documentary on it, but he essentially, I got to have a conversation with him, like the
awesome.
coolest guy, and he had to go to prison for some tax thing, and he just basically right, do your taxes. But he became known as the Running Man, and he does this feat which takes 5-6 months maybe, but he's away from his family at that time. But however, you got to fill your bucket, and so maybe you have to essentially rekindle that relationship later on, because there's going to be a lot of animosity, and that's what I'm hearing. It's like, my kids don't care that I'm going to go do this amazing feat that really brings me joy, that really it's something that I wanted to do my whole life, but your kids don't care. So there's going to be that
your kids just noticed you were gone.
They see you as dad, not as a guy trying to tackle his feet.
But then he's like, I want to do for me, like, my biggest goal. Like, I have to accomplish that. Nobody understands that, because, a lot of dads, moms will just say like, I'm going to suppress my goals for you.
I think that's a mistake.
Right. So if then how is your kids going to reach for their goals if you're just sedentary and just like, dude, it could have happened for me, but I didn't.
They'll notice that stuff. They'll notice the different things when they grow up too. Like you did that and your kids are 5 or whatever. When they're 15, they're gonna be like, dang, that was awesome that he did that. And they're going to forget that you were gone for 5
It might be 30, but it might, they might be a little older. So like, I'm sure there is some riff. I don't know, maybe he's done to lead up to that race. He's doing more than he's probably gone a lot. But at that same time, how do you mesh it all together? And that's where you guys are dads. And that's kind of what I do is I consult with dads. That's like my main focus is I do a little bit of nutrition and mindset really but to be active, you've got to mesh all these things together. So for me, I can't just do a 5:30 to 6:30 jujitsu class because then I miss out on that prime 3-hour window that I have my kids. That's it.
Right.
So I can't do that. So I've got to mesh in workouts with my family. So whether it's rock climbing with my boys or if it's like, that's jujitsu's fun because then I can start taking my 5-year-old.
Totally. Yeah.
But I have to do things that allow me to stay active with my family.
Yeah. I think it's really beautiful
Hikes
when you see families are fully engaged actively. Like, you'll walk like sports fields and you'll see a couple dads out there, or maybe a dad or a mom, and they're helping out. But, you can just tell like those kids are just wanting more activity with their where
they go, this thing actually like breaks my heart is whenever you see like parents with kids, the parents are talking, the kids have headphones on and an iPad and they're just completely out of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. I mean, there was a time in this world when you were surviving without electronics in your face. And I'm pretty sure kids were doing just fine.
My wife is like big into no screens whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so like we get comments all the time, like when we go to like, she's pregnant, so we'll go like in our doctor's office and our kids are fine.
They're fine.
They're not watching anything. They're not doing anything. They're fine. And the doctor's always like, we really commend you for not letting them use screens. And I don't even think about it anymore. I'm just like, oh yeah, people do that, But I'll tell you what, our kids are like so well behaved since we took that away.
Right.
Like before, our oldest daughter was like a brat, honestly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to raise a brat. That's what I thought,
That's true. Yeah.
And it's hard though, because it's easy to succumb to.
Oh, it's amazingly easy. Yeah.
And that's where we try to do the same thing. Yeah. But he's gotten into video games, and then it's nostalgia for me. So
I played video games. Yeah,
they've got this.
It's not like we're not going to do zero of that stuff.
Yeah,
because then they're going to overload it later in life. Yeah, and you're only going to want to do it. But we just minimize it as much as possible.
And that's I think that's what we all try to do. Hopefully, because the power of outside, just go take them outside.
Totally, our kids are in love with outside. Yeah,
and it's that time now. Like you better get all the
get it all out while you
totally.
So,
that's where the energy comes in. That's where the working out comes in. That's where, again, that mindset of just basically do your best every single day. You're going to fall short every single day because that's us as humans. We are always striving to this pinnacle of success, but that never comes.
Yeah. Who told us within here that said if you hit a goal, if you hit your massive goal in life, you're going to die. You're just going to slowly die.
Who's Mike?
Mike said that?
Mike,
okay.
Yeah.
Mike.
He's basically you never arrive. Like you're always.
Well, he also said there's people that do arrive.
Yes.
In their own head.
Yes.
And all he sees them just slowly die.
Yeah. And basically everybody passes.
Yeah.
There is a lecture just sent this week. So you guys are hitting everything. From Harvard Business School. And this guy, Arthur Brooks, I'm going to send this to you guys. But
we're the co-authors of this. That's why we know. I'm kidding.
He's on this plane. It prompts him to write a book. He's listening to this couple up in front of him, and the man is just saying like, nobody probably nothing like that, but like my life didn't matter. And the wife just keeps consoling him, and they get up off the plane, sees the guy's face, and this dude is like one of the biggest contributors to our society, and he's like, I will do no less than 100 times less than this guy. And this guy's saying this like,
oh, wow. So this guy was like an important guy.
Yes. He doesn't go into say his name because then like,
you don't call him out.
Yeah. Or maybe he's just selling a book but it's
the idea of it.
Yeah. And then he goes, and then there's data behind like what is happiness? Like for people who win Nobel Peace Prizes, that age is 39. And then it's like from there, it's just decrease in happiness. And then it goes up as you get a lot older. But I just think like, yeah, you hit that pinnacle and it's all downhill. Or how do you just stay striving for something? And does that keep your happiness at bay? I don't know.
The work has to be the happiness, in my opinion.
I think
you gotta like hit the pillars. Right?
I think one, clear on value, like your values. Like, hey, I value integrity, hard work, whatever the values that you possess, and that your alignment in whatever your work is those values can be held true. I think also, I think you have to be really aware of yourself. I mean, we are growing individuals. Every section of our lives, you kind of are slightly getting reinvented or building upon where you're at, and you might have to pivot and stuff, but embracing that's a really cool thing in itself. I mean, think about guys that get out of being an athlete. We experience at younger ages, maybe high school, college, guys that leave the military after a long time, guys that are when they're trying to do something that is out of their comfort zone, that can be debilitating or it can be motivating. Right. That's a very fine line of switching or deciding which fork in the road, which direction of the fork in the road you're going to take. But I mean, me being 37 now, I just turned 37 in December, and I called my best friend. We have the same birthday.
That's cool.
And we met each other in the Marine Corps, and we became fast friends and basically brothers from another mother. And I called him, and I was like, "Hey, happy birthday, brother!" And he's like, "I go, God, look at what we've done. 37 years in. Look how
he's the same age as you too.
Well, we're same age.
Oh, that's
same
cool.
same birthday, same age, everything." And he's like, "Yeah, my God, isn't it awesome? Like, pretty impressive at the in terms of just like looking back is good." I go, and I mentioned to him, I said, "And guess what? The second half is going to be even better than the first." And he was kind of quiet. And he's like kind of mumbling. Yeah, he's like, yeah, and he doesn't have any kids. He's single. Has a serious girlfriend, and he kind of later he mentioned that he kind of had a mortality an internal conversation. He's like, dude, it kind of freaked me out. Kind of like that midlife edge. You're just like, oh my gosh, what? But I have nothing to show for it. I don't have a family or kids. Like, and I'm thinking like, dude, you live the life of a luxury. You're traveling. You can go anywhere, but. It's two sides of a coin, but we both were going the right direction in the sense like there's still more. And we, it's like, what's next? And then who's going to be with me? It's pretty cool, but also daunting. It's just that kind of that teetering of like, because right now you're living somebody's dream. And
that's true, dude.
You're living somebody's dream, and you might even be living your
old dream.
Old dream.
You're living your reality that you've always wished for.
Yeah. At one point you wish for what you have right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that's grown. And that's good.
Yeah.
Because we haven't arrived, but like just think. I mean, like Tom Brady just retired. 5 years ago was, why would I retire? I am the smartest I've ever been in this profession. I am the best I've ever been. Why would I stop? And I think that a little bit as being a man, a dad's like, I'm only getting better if I do the right things. I can only get better because now my experience is so much more vast and how we're going. It's gonna be pretty. I mean, the opportunity, the potential is endless if you so choose to go down the door.
Yep. Yeah. Ooh, and that door is always open.
It is.
My father-in-law said it best. Ron Carson, just a beautiful man. I always ask him for advice.
Yeah.
And sometimes he gives it. Sometimes he subtly like tries to give it, but maybe I don't take it, receive it.
Yeah.
But he always says, for me, and again, I respect him to the nines. Yeah. He was like, I think for the first 50 years of my life, I used that as just the teacher. Like that was it. Like for my first 50 years, it was like playtime. Like it was, you're going to fail. Like he told me about these radio shows that he would just lose money on or show. And I never heard that because I just thought this guy's like
just success.
Man. Yeah. Like anything he touches is gold. But then he's like, damn, that was a flop. I have one of his jackets that he had from the show. And I just remember that I keep that jacket because that was the first time I'm like, wow. this life is about failure. Like, and then I go back to all these other things. It was all failures that got me to the other side of, you know, fear. It was like, you got to fail. And then coming from a small town as well, you hear of like, oh, that guy failed. He's back here. Like, so then that projects in your mind. But you
that's a
should
quitter,
strive.
not a failure.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Sometimes there's quitters.
See, but you don't have any of that
Context.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't know that yet.
Yeah.
And then you hear this, and then you see all these successful people, and they're like, oh, they did fail a lot.
Let me ask you.
They probably just failed more and quicker than most people.
To learn.
Right? They just kept failing to learn. Yeah.
In my mind, I hate the word can't, won't, shouldn't, but if you didn't know the concept of failure, you just knew it didn't work that time. Just think what would be possible. I mean, like, I think about if your kid stopped trying to get up when they're trying to learn how to walk.
Yep.
They don't know failure. They are literally acting out of instinct to maneuver the most efficiently in their world, and that's walking.
And sometimes you think you fail, but you just haven't done it long enough yet.
Or you just haven't done it the right way where it's easier.
Right.
I think that's, I mean, I always am like, well, what's the harm in trying? Like, I'm a starter. Like Lindsay, my wife, I'm like, well, let's try this. Let's do this. And I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, I'm still breathing. Do I look like a fool sometimes? Well, maybe. But I always got joy out of guys that would, or people that wouldn't try. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'll go out and give it a shot. I mean, like.
But do you have a harder time with follow through after that?
No, I mean, if I like it and
I
I can see that, oh, this is fun. You know, I could get onto this. If I have enough opportunity where I can search it out and go do it, I'd be down. The problem is I just don't have enough time in the day sometimes. Right. You know?
Same.
Yeah.
And with you in jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
that's where we can go back to that. Like, that's where I understood, like, I'm going to suck. When you started, you probably like, there's no way I'm ever going to.
Oh, it's so daunting.
Right.
It is the most daunting. It's like learning I think Joe Rogan said it multiple times, like learning a new language.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah. And then it just shows you if you practice long enough, like you have that mind that
the first time you tap somebody is like the most euphoric experience.
Oh yeah.
But it just feels like it's a little confidence boost every time.
Yes. Yeah. Finally. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. So you guys mentioned this idea of
Jiu-Jitsu is the best.
Through the fear of starting again or like getting back into it. What does that do to your confidence of like going back in? Like it sounds really daunting, and a lot of times it's debilitating for
What do you
people.
mean? What do you mean?
So like you mentioned, like you haven't been back in the gym and it's very daunting to go in, or trying something new. What is a thing that you guys maybe tell yourself to maybe take the step through that? To I am going to give this a shot again, or start it, or I am going to get back up. What is that? What was something that you guys maybe kind of tell yourself? Will's got something on the.
I was ready for Will's answer.
I know. But it's scary though. Like it took me 35 years to start jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But to do it, I just had to get over. You're gonna suck. Like that. I love that analogy of your kids are gonna fall. Yeah. I actually did it on a whim. I got gifted $500 to use for coaching, and I'm like, I'm gonna learn jiu-jitsu with this $500. I just want to learn, a little bit, maybe a choke, maybe a guillotine. Yeah. And then from there, I'm going to master the guillotine and I'm going to be a good jiu-jitsu.
You thought that's how it worked?
That's how I thought it worked.
Oh, interesting.
So I went in too stupid to even know. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I think my instructor was like, yeah, okay, buddy, this is 30 years right now. So then I go in there and just get destroyed. Like
you get mauled by little bitty dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I'm hooked. And this guy's like 58. And I'm like, okay, so if I can somehow master this, if he's done it, I just have to dedicate my 20 years of my life. Like, can I do that? I think I can, because there's these other things that I've done. So to do something, you just have to say yes. Like, and I'm like you. Like, you just have to. I love being in a room where if we're at a course and people just don't stand up, I'm skipping there because I get the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Like, I'm confident in that way. Like, I'm confident because maybe I'm just that dumb. Like, I'm just like, I'll be a guinea pig.
I like no problem. You want to make me? I'm gonna, because by even getting into that space, you're gonna learn way more than the person just watching. Like that's a, do it on me. We'll figure it out.
It's out of your comfort zone.
Out of your
but
comfort
then
zone.
it's like also, you have that insecurity a little bit because everybody's looking at you.
Yeah.
But that makes you learn.
Yeah.
So our bodies are always in constant survival mode, and you have to try to overcome the survival mode. But understanding that survival mode is you're in a better state of survival when prepared. But if you don't ever go try to get prepared, you will constantly be in fear and always trying to be survival mode. But you're only truly being able to survive if you're prepared.
Yep.
Prepared is only learned through failure.
Stay ready.
So stay ready, baby. That's it.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Yeah.
See, I love this cadence. You guys,
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were going to be in here,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that you're in here. Like,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
and the cadence has been so amazing.
Yeah.
Staying ready. We talked about this prior. On my 3rd month out of my prostatectomy, my friend was finishing up 75 hard, and each week he was doing a mile for each week he made it through. So he was going to do a mile, well, twice a week. So he'd just do like 1 mile Monday, 1 mile Saturday.
Okay.
So when he got to week 10, he was just telling me this strategy he was using, basically to add
Progressive
more.
overload.
Progressive overload. And he was habit stacking.
Yeah.
So with that, he started habit stacking. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you, Shabes. On mile 10, I said, I'll jump in with
Or
you.
week 10.
Week 10. Yeah. Mile 10.
Mile 10 as well. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, we're not going to run anything too fast, 10-minute miles. And I never really had ran that distance ever, just because my mind I want to get it done. I'm going to run really hard for just a short time.
Right. Get sprints out of the way. Yeah.
But I go with him, we do it and make it through. And I'm like, oh my God, let's do a half marathon. And just by the power of staying ready, preparedness, preparing your food, fueling well, we ran a half marathon faster than we ran 10 miles. And I hadn't trained. I had literally just been rehabbing myself from that surgery. But it was the mind. It was the mind of just knowing you can push through. Your body's going to say, stop.
After the first mile, it's almost mind for me.
Yeah.
Just mind.
So just talk to yourself kindly and just see where the thoughts go. And honestly, it's like becoming one with your body, feeling the toes, feeling, if you just think that way, the miles will add up.
Yeah.
You just have to not let that mind go out and just do anything negative. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's what I think. Is that endurance? Is that climbing mountains? So for me,
Try everything.
I climb mountains and it's just like, quit. You're no good. Like, so then you just keep pushing past it and you're like, oh yes, I am the best. I am.
You are your best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each step, because you overcome that inner critic.
I think that there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, as we know.
Yeah.
And I think that's also what we're talking about. Like if you've ribbon, you've maxed out your arrogance, right? But if your confidence overpowers your arrogance, you can continue to go, and then you also build in humility.
Well, Will said confidence is basically just you've stacked enough things you've done in your life.
It's repetition.
It's just what it is.
Yeah. I know that I'm going to get through this. There's a confidence of walking. There's like
he's got 800,000 examples in your past. To point at that you can. Yep, I'm going to get through it.
Goggins talks about reach into the cookie jar. Reach into the cookie jar.
Goggins is savage.
Dude,
I love that guy so much.
I just finished his 2nd book.
Oh, I did too. I love that book. And did you read it or listen?
I listen.
Okay, so interesting style how they did it. The
Don't
whole
you
podcast
love it?
thing. Yeah.
Gosh,
thought it
I
was
heard
pretty
him
cool.
speak in Vegas one time. That was another mindset shifter because you hear that and you're like, oh, there are guys out there like that, like me a little bit. Maybe I'm not as savage as this guy, but I'm like, there is that
There's elements that
guy.
you really resonate for you.
I'm like, wow, he suffered a little bit of my own suffering. And
You know
he's
what
put
that
it
is?
towards the good.
That's like genuine masculinity. Hey, I've suffered, I've overcome, I've been humbled, and then I go teach, share, and I redo it all again.
That's life,
right?
He's a straight up warrior in a garden.
Is
dude.
that feminine?
100%, which is one of the greatest quotes ever made by Bruce Lee.
Yep.
I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war.
Yeah.
And
Which I love that thing. I think
dude.
about all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all those men out
Jordan
there.
Peterson says you
Step up.
need to be an absolute savage.
Yeah, you gotta be dangerous.
Yeah.
You gotta know
Dangerous,
you have the propensity to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And learn how to control
And
it.
how to
You
learn,
learn how to control
Yep.
it.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
And
Right? How much
Oh,
confidence did you get with that?
Oh,
Like,
me and my brother called it post jujitsu swagger. You walk out of there, you're like, I'm untouchable, motherfucker. That's kind of how you feel, though.
Yeah.
You just, and it's funny because you just got your ass kicked.
The land is my ocean.
Yep.
And these fish.
You walk out there, someone asks you a question, you're like, you want to talk to me, dude?
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I really want to get my daughter in it.
Oh, I'm not gonna make, but I'm gonna encourage my daughters hardcore to do it so they can be savage
gosh.
women.
You'll
Protect themselves.
There's a family that comes in and they have 2 daughters that are just absolute killers.
awesome.
The dad was one of the guys that really humbled me in the beginning. He's like 150 to this day. I can't do anything.
Just can't do anything.
him.
Yep.
But
You know,
It's amazing.
that is, if your son saw you lose or get tapped out and then get right back in, think
Yeah.
about the vivid imagery
Sure.
Carson has for that.
oh, dude, he saw it.
I mean,
He's
it's
seen it
incredible.
probably a lot,
right?
Yeah, I
Like-
took him to my first.
Competition.
Yeah, and I did it so fast because there we go. There's arrogance right there.
Yeah.
There's ego.
Mhm.
I go in 6 months thinking like, oh, dude, I'm pretty good. I'm athletic. I do these kettlebells. I got all this endurance. I go and just get destroyed.
Yeah.
My kid's there, and I'm like, oh, my neck hurts. I can't even look. What's up, Carson? Like, I love it. And then I get Kimura, and I'm like, my arm. But like, I still have to keep trying.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah.
There's
Your
a
dad, buddy, he's awesome.
savage.
Yeah.
the quote is ego is the sworn enemy of growth and ego is a sworn enemy of growth and development.
Yeah.
So like if your ego will stop you from all of that.
Yeah.
Because then you
Sure.
think that ego, but at one point in time you're hungry enough to get for the growth and development, but ego will put a halt on it when you think that when it gets too big. I mean, ego is healthy in a certain capacity, as long as if you pair it with humility, then you gain confidence.
And do you think that ego is harnessed by beating it down consistently? Like, I think that's what I have to do with a daily workout, like, because then it gets that energy out.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So for me, a daily, it's a no brainer. This is structured into my day, no matter what, because then I don't have that thing in my mind that has too much energy. It's already depleted. So then naturally I've already beat it because it's going to tell me don't work out. And then the harder I push just depends on how hard my mind doesn't want me to do it. So
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I think there is, this is maybe I think ego is
Not the amigo.
not the amigo.
You're
Ego is
no
one of the
ego
tools. the one of the tools that I'm a Christian that the devil uses to basically tear you down and take control of you. So ego is always present, but an ego is a false sense of confidence. I mean, ego is something where you say you're
Ego's probably actually insecurity.
insecurity. It is something that you're saying, well, I'm too good to do that.
Yeah.
One thing that we were taught in the Marine Corps, which was really interesting, I was in combative arms in infantry, and our commanders would always say, there is always somebody training to kill you. And I was like, wow.
Dang.
So if you have an
That's
issue of
savage
getting
thoughts.
up every day,
Yeah.
there is
Think of
somebody
that.
that will get up today, and they're going to get 1% more better than you are, and they will be ready to kill you. Because if you're going to go to war, you just have to have that. My son's like, this is
I
unrelenting.
love that, dude. Yeah.
Right? So there is somebody always, so if you try to apply it to me as civilian life, I would say like there's always, it's not a me versus you thing, because that can be unhealthy in itself, but there is always somebody else vying to take you down or disrupt you from your path.
Yeah.
Trying to take your spot.
Take your spot.
That
your
was
spot.
in Goggins' second book.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
like that older guy who just
Yep.
shut his mouth. He did the work. He would do extra reps.
Yep.
That's the truth. And that's what we all should strive to be, is that guy that is going to take that spot. Because as we talked about before this, we're on the same path.
Yeah.
We're just saying, let's push Tyson a little more. Let me help this guy. He seems like he's got that fire a little bit more. He's got that grasp on his next thing, his big thing. So it's like, let's push him. And in turn, do we grow together? Is that what the growth mindset is?
Yeah.
Is that what just growing together in this like little cumulative bubble here? Like, do you find these purple cows? That's another book.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
do you
Purple Cow.
find these guys that are similar to you? And
I think that's
Seth
very
Godin?
hard.
Is that Seth Godin book?
Yeah.
Go to,
Purple
I think,
Cow?
yeah.
Is that good? Yeah.
I think so. Finding the community of that is very hard. I think F3 is a really good example of that in certain elements. I think
you guys have a good
that's a
setup.
good crew. I think you find it like guys will find it like a CrossFit gym. There's a lot of like-mindedness in there. Jiu-jitsu gyms is very similar.
Yeah.
Well, and you check the baggage you carry or the identity you project daily, and it's stripped at the front door. You don't have it because you are on an equal playing field. That's one thing, like interpersonal conflict, like hand-to-hand combat, jiu-jitsu. You don't have time to think about it. It's like a cold bath. Same thing. There's no time.
This is totally random, but it just made me think one of the things jiu-jitsu has done for me is made me way more comfortable with confrontation.
Yes.
Even verbal confrontation.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Like if someone were to do something in the past, let's just say, I don't know, slap their wife or something in front of me, right? Before, I don't know what I would have done exactly, but I wouldn't be confident to be like, listen, you need to step away. But now I would be because I have a little bit of confidence in myself physically to take care of a situation if I have to.
Diffuse, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what martial arts is all about. Is like the ability to be dangerous, but know how to control it. That's the stoicism.
It also makes you realize how many people could whoop your ass.
Yeah.
And so you're a little bit like, hey, I'll take
humble.
I'll take care of the situation, but I'm not going to fight you either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just going to show the confidence of it because I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Because it's just the ability to speak.
Yeah.
That's what you're just saying.
Yeah.
That's like me too.
Yeah.
It's like I have the ability to look people in the eye a little more because I just feel so much better in this skin because I've
It's awesome.
put that discipline, I've put practice, the repetition. That's where confidence comes from me.
And struggle. I mean, it's gotta be, there's no growth in comfort.
Right. You're struggling every day. Like
Growth
you
growth
do that.
and comfort do not exist in the same room.
No.
At all.
No.
Comfort's almost or not even a real word to me. Comfort's like a trap or something.
It's a trap. That's a great point. It's it's a dark room that you can get stuck in.
Yeah, it totally is.
Too easy though.
Yeah.
And we've all been there.
100%.
Like that's what
I totally related when you said like start to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You start to make a little bit of money. You're like, I'm kind of the freaking man, dude. What's up?
Yeah, I remember
Get
one
a little
night,
complacent.
we got in my best friend was back and I had my ego was in check and we had been drinking and he called me on my bullshit. Just absolutely called me on the floor. We started wrestling. We were
Like
fighting.
legit wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like thought I was gonna break a window in my house and I had bite up against the wall and
Because you thought you were the man? Or
well,
what?
yeah, I had an ego issue. I had an ego issue, just buy a new house and you think that you look at something or somebody and you have this like, you start creating these judgment pieces and then you have like chip on your shoulder that can create This is you can just see this unhealthy recipe of stuff. And then the people that you love most are the ones that are feeling it heaviest because they know you best and they can see past the bullshit. And we had, it was like early spring. Our pool just gotten filled. It was really cold. And finally we kind of like broke it up. Right, he's bigger. He's a big guy. He's built like you, and so and strong. And I probably wouldn't have been able to beat him up. But I wouldn't know able to win that fight. But we were definitely tussling, right?
Yeah.
And we're fucking 35 years old, dude. Right? I mean, and then I was like, we bygones, we go F it. We just jumped in the pool in our underwear, like just for a cool off, a cold shower.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the next day, we were fine, 100% fine. That's what brothers do, right? You fight and you make up, right? It's like that. And a year later, we had another great conversation about, he was right. I was being a douchebag, and you have to have those humbling moments. And I was really thankful that my best friend was able to bring it to light,
Yeah.
because you probably wouldn't be able to receive it elsewhere.
Right. And how special is it to have somebody that just says that? Like that, we all need that sometimes. Like, gosh, I need it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I needed it. And sometimes it comes in the form of life lessons. Sometimes you have that mentor, that buddy that says it. And that's another thing about the Purple Cow is like, how do you truthfully find those people that don't try to bring you down? Like that truly is hard.
Yes, it is. There's I don't know who said this quote, or maybe nobody has, and I just have created it. I love the thought, not many people like accountability, but in my mind, accountability is one of the highest forms of love. I love you so much that I just you've mentioned that this is something that's serious to you. Where are you at with that? Or like, hey man, this is not the person that I know and love.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yep.
That's a level of accountability that is scary to see.
Goggins talks about that actually.
Dude, accountability. If just take it for exactly what it is. You're right. Maybe I'm not the reflection, I mean, that's a big deal. Accountability is hard because it puts you on blast.
Dude, that's a beautiful way to say that. I have a friend who did a consulting round with me.
Okay.
Dude was a heavyweight wrestler at Cornell. I don't know if he won. Tyler Chauvelin, look him up, just an absolute unit.
Yeah.
But he kind of got complacent. He lost all this freaking weight just through sheer accountability. That was it. He knew what to do. This guy's smarter than all get out, but he knew what to do. He just needed someone to cut the shit.
Be honest with
saying that. Stop giving in to your temptation. Just adhere for a little longer. Yeah. That's all we need. Sometimes you got to put a little skin in the game, but sometimes you just have to have somebody there to just cut the shit. Just be your true, authentic self and stop lying to yourself.
Stop lying to yourself. Yeah.
And that's another book reference, the 4 Agreements.
Four Agreements is so good.
Great book.
So good.
Yeah. Right.
Dude, it's such a great book.
Well, let's wrap this thing up because we'll talk for another hour.
I could love this.
I think
I was literally like, dude, we're going to
need another episode, I think.
We do need another episode.
Yeah,
of this.
We need to talk about fatherhood, young fatherhood.
That's
soon.
what I would
That's
love.
what we need to talk about.
Let's do a follow-up podcast for sure.
Yeah. Girl dads, you have boys and girls. We're all
You
similar
have 2
age.
kids or 3?
3.
Yeah, and you know what would be
How
really
old are they?
cool?
5, 2, 1.
Maybe we could have a sage dad on too. So we're young
what?
dads, a guy who's
Older
his kids
dad?
are, older through high school,
I was like, who's a sage dad? I thought that was like
guy
a
who's
granola mom.
sage. No, guys who's
crunchy
sage,
mom,
Yeah.
And we're kind of in that king stage. We're trying to build our own kingdom. We need someone who's a sage,
Yeah, good point.
But
Could bring my dad on.
Well, in closing, I mean, you've overcome negative self-talk through high school, a poor upbringing of maybe some absent parents and some lack of leadership in your life. You've overcome exceptional struggle through pain of a car accident and mental or physical disability. And then you've built a beautiful wife and a family with kids. You're an amazing dad. You went through a bicep tear in the middle of your prime.
Pec tear.
You learned how to constant learning of jiu-jitsu. You've also had prostate cancer. You've now in the process of beating, and
Beat it.
you beat it.
Did beat it.
And now you're and now you're on the other side of it, and you're like, bring it on, mother effers.
Yeah.
I got it. I got this. It's awesome.
Well, what we're trying
man.
to say to you, man, is we need you to step up.
Yeah.
We need you-
I'm
we
like,
need
that's
you
the
to step
kindest
up a little
thing,
bit.
right? And that's where it
That's
is.
awesome,
I
man.
do. I appreciate all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
thank
it's really
you.
impressive.
And the other part I'll add is over the years, and I have never known you well, I would say, until the last couple of years, but I am constantly amazed by your authenticity of gratitude.
Mm.
You do an exceptional job of not being shy, of showing gratitude for daily life.
Yeah.
So I appreciate
And
that.
that's amazing.
love
Thank
that
you.
too.
That's amazing. And you can't be mad, sad if you're grateful. Like you can only be grateful.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So that's beautiful. I really appreciate this. And
Yeah, well, thanks so
the
much for coming.
cadence.
Yeah,
like,
man, it's been
This
awesome.
was like,
It's been awesome.
I feel like I've known you for
I know,
a
me
while.
too.
And then, like, Tyson,
Yeah.
I always appreciate
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And this cat over here, thank
That's
you.
Dana.
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 All
yeah.
right.
So until next time.
Until next time, man.
baby.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you
Thanks,
guys.
guys. See ya.